Welcome to the new Workology Go Podcast. In just under 5 minutes, we'll get you the HR and workplace news you need before you start your day. Get ready, get set, and go with the new Workology Go Podcast.
Here are today's HR and workplace news headlines from the Workology Go Podcast. I'm Jessica Miller-Merrill. This podcast is sponsored by Workology. We all want flexibility, we all want to be valued, and we all want to be respected for our work accomplishments. It's such a natural thing. To want all these things is to be human. And it is often so rare for us to receive in the workplace. I mentioned flexibility because it continues to be the single most important perk that your employees want. In fact, many employees are willing to make less money in order to have flexible schedules or be able to work from home. As the talent market tightens, companies are getting creative to retain their workers and keep them focused and excited to be working at your company. Today's featured story comes from Nation's Restaurant News, and it's titled, Shake Shack Tests 4-Day Work Week for Managers. The article will be available, I'll have a link to it in the transcript of this Workology Go podcast episode. But to kind of give you some background, Shake Shack began testing a 4-day work week earlier this year to help retain and recruit qualified store-level supervisors. The pilot program has been deployed at the chain's Las Vegas market, where it operates a handful of locations, including a store on the Strip. It has never been harder to find great people to lead great restaurants, said the CEO, Randy Garutti. Now, what Shake Shack is doing isn't new. The need for flexible workplaces has been around since really work began. For myself, as an HR leader in 2007, our top sales team members were offered to participate in a 4-day work week program. It was a pilot. And our top performing inside sales reps worked 4 10-hour shifts for a pilot program for 6 months. And since sales offers a very easy way to track performance, it was a great test program and pilot for us. During the pilot period, performance increased for all but one of our employees. And that employee decided that 4 10s and that 4 work week schedule wasn't really meant for them. More top performers were invited to participate, and we had lower turnover because of it. This helped retain our best workers, give them autonomy, and reward them for their great performance. This was a huge win for us and so great for the culture. It was a call center environment where we were hiring for inside sales professionals. That really historically was very high turnover, and it's really not unlike Shake Shack with their managers. One of my favorite podcast interviews is with Greg Hawkes, and he talks about the idea that to create more engagement and happiness within our workforce, we need to give them more autonomy to make their own decisions. It's called ownership culture. Listen to this snippet of a previous Workology podcast interview with Greg Hawkes.
So I think establishing that, having this idea of we're going to have an environment where we develop trust enough where we can say hard, direct things so we let each other have the freedom to be who they need to be and how they need to be to do that. And then with unlocking an ownership culture, I shift to, I own investment properties. All of this came out of, in Oklahoma, where we live, is I own several single-family homes, and I noticed it with renters, people who rent my homes, act different than I do in the home that I own, and I see that in the workplace all the time. The trick is, though, when you drive down the street or you see these people who live in the homes that rent from me, they act like it's their home, and you wouldn't know if you went there because they have barbecues, they celebrate kids' birthdays, they have their church groups over, they do 4th of July. And so when you see from the outside, it looks like the person who lives right next to them who owns the home, they look very similar. And so I discovered the same is true at work, that people can work cube to cube, office to office, and by the outside, it kind of looks like they're all the same.
While I'm not saying that all flexible work leads to a culture of ownership, it is certainly a great way to differentiate yourself from the competition as an employer. It also allows you to help retain and recruit your best people. A Mercer study found that 51% of employees wished their company offered more flexible work options. No matter what the industry, flexibility is incredibly important to employees and to job seekers across the nation and the world. Companies that offer employees flexibility in the form of telecommuting, flexible schedules, unlimited PTO, they help maintain a positive work-life balance for those people. Flexibility has also been shown to reduce workplace stress, boost mental well-being. We need a little bit more of that mental well-being these days, and encourages productivity. As employers, we have options to what flexibility looks like. They are unique to our business and to our location, but it's up to us to talk to our employees to understand what flexible options they want and how these will work with our companies and business models. Workology now offers SHRM certification prep classes on your schedule with over 36 hours of online training, a private Facebook group, and instruction using the SHRM learning system. We give you the resources you need. Visit workology.com/products to learn more. And that's this episode of the Workology Go podcast, sponsored by Workology. We're your go-to for HR and workplace news. I'm Jessica Miller-Merrill. Thank you for listening.
To learn more about the Workology Go podcast, subscribe to us on Apple, Google, and Stitcher. Our podcast is also available on Alexa and Google Home. Learn more at workology.com/go podcast and access this episode's resources, links, and reports for more information.